Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, I am SocioPsycho and this is Mob Reviews, and today we take a look at Gunspell Steam Edition. This is a match 3 with a twist. It is a tactical turn-based match 3. I don't just do any regular match 3 games, they have to have something special about them to appeal to my attention. This was created by Inco Plus and it is a port available on PC, Mac, and Linux. Is it any good? Well, let's find out, and we'll start by going into the options menu. When you go into the options menu, you do have a choice between sound and music, but there is no bar slider. It's just simply on or off, which is a little bit annoying because the sound is a little loud. It would be nice to have a slider. Now, when you jump into the game, it actually plays at 1920 by 1080. I have not had any clipping, I have not had any crashes, or any tearing. And the game has been running at 30 frames per second. It's a top-down view exploration of a world. Graphically, it's very basic. It doesn't have anything that's amazing, but at the same time, it's not anything that is just horrible looking. It gets by, as we'll show you, and you have a choice of languages as there is a story element accompanied to the game. Really, the story element of the game is not anything that's going to be awe-inspiring or amazing. It's not voice acted, it's barely able to get by with the written portion, fairly corny in different aspects, but it survives. So when we jump into the game, you'll see some crossovers in between a standard mobile or iPad style with the coins and the aesthetic, and how well they transfer over into this new area. Now, in the top side, you have the stamina, which is the 402. That is movement points. Whenever you move to someplace, you lose movement points, and when you attack an enemy, you have a choice in between banishing them. If you banish them, you will not receive any of the rewards that they have, nor the experience. You're pretty much saying, I want you out of my face because I don't like you, or I'm annoyed of you, or you can fight them. You have your experience. Experience is gained. You get a certain amount from killing each enemy, but in the game you actually have the availability, if you match 3 purple crystals together, to gain extra experience. You can easily hide or have the bar standard, which is nice, and you have gold implemented into the game. The majority of your currency and the things that you want to buy is from silver, and silver is gained by selling items that you receive from combat or killing enemies. Gold is not something that you will really rely on, or is it something that is needed. And when we open up the shop, you can see that the majority of these items here, whether they be upgrades or not, cost silver, not gold. And the gold items that they do have, majority of the time, are not worth getting. The game is split up in between a tactical sense, a strategy sense, and a match 3 sense. The gear plays the strategy element to it, where different gear that you have on your character, as we look over to the bottom left, the weapon has its different stats. On activation, meaning when you match 5 red crystals together, when you match the crystals that the weapon or item needs, it will build up a charge. When that charge is complete, you may activate that weapon or item and it will relay its stats. You have passive and activation on these items. Now, as you can tell, you can also see as the different items also have durability on them. This is a little bit of annoyance. The durability is obviously meant for a mobile port where you say, hey, okay, well, let's go to the workshop. Let's take our item that is completely broken and repair it. But you don't have to actually hit repair, which would take your money. All you have to do is go back to the main screen, move over a tile, go back to a shop, back to a workshop, and bring the ring out of repair, and it's back up to full durability. It's not something that is a mandatory system of, hey, you need to spend these coins in order to repair your gear. It's just a little bit having to have you go out of your way in order to repair your gear. So the repair system is not horrible, it's just a little inconvenient. You also have the availability to improve your gear, and the cost of that may change and vary in between the different items. For here, improving the stat would increase a plus of 25 to 50% increase. So we upgrade it. So we improve it by simply hitting on that. We lose our 5 coins and we see the item is upgraded. We have gained more luck on our weapon. So that's definitely a nice thing to do. And if we wish it, we can do that to more of these and see exactly what happens. Here we get 59 more armor, so that's definitely nice as well. So it does come down in a strategy sense of making sure your gear is good and solid, as the gear that you may want to have is damage increase on the passive. You want damage, block, and luck mainly overall. You want luck more than block, perhaps, but definitely damage. The pitfall is you'll see a lot of items that have health on it. It'll be like 500 health, 300 health, 600 health. But as you level up through the game, you will gain plenty of health. And that shouldn't be an issue, but you will need that extra damage and that extra luck or block to be able to survive longer, where the health really is not going to matter in the later stages, because in the later stages, the game has a steep difficulty spike. I most likely believe that this difficulty spike was originally in the game due to making people buy stuff with gold. Purchase this, purchase that, and sort of as a, hey, give us your money. It didn't really get fixed all that well, and it negatively affects the gameplay. Now, yes, there are ways around that, and it will take more concentration upon what you take into battle with you and how you use, such as your magic. Now in the side panel, you have the option to choose in between your inventory slot and your magic slot. The difference in between is really nothing. One is an inventory for your magical spells and the other is an inventory for your item. You can increase these by either having the correct resources, 260 crystals, 12 runes, and 8,000 silver. Or you can simply buy another new slot for gold. It's your choice depending on what you wish to do. And the same thing with here. As you unlock more of them, they will cost more. Magic is important the later on you get in the game, because we have established it has a hard difficulty spike around level 7 to 9, and then it slows down some more. Because it spikes so hard there, you definitely need to have an understanding and an implementation of certain spells. Now, spells you can activate in combat, and they'll do either damage, heal you, change the board, the capability of crystals on the board, or some variation. There's spells, and there are a lot of spells that are available to you. Some ranging from minor effects, some ranging to sure things get you out of this, you're going to lose possibility. And you have the capability in the magic school that you pick, whether it be more shielding, healing, death, or fire, to upgrade these schools of magic. The better they're upgraded, when you cast a spell, it's going to hurt more. So it has a tactical sense of resources, using, and making sure that you take that and understand that into battle. Now, as you do gather items and resources, there are set bonuses. And so if you wish to save a set bonus for a certain time or just as a collective measure, you do have a bank or slash storage inventory area where you can unlock. The unlock cost of these do take gold, and the good thing to note is that it does not increase in the gold slot as you upgrade them over. They will remain 15. And lastly, as you complete throughout the game, you have these reward achievements available. So we can see high 5 yellow, collect 10 times a combination of 5 yellow stones in a line. And your reward for completing that is 2,500 experience and 50 crystals. We take it, and you can see as we scroll through, we have different achievements which will reward us if we complete. So this is nice. It's something to shoot for, but it's also, hey, wow, I didn't know I was going to get that, and now I'm rewarded for getting that. Defeat 10 witches. And you can see gold is not something that is overly needed in the game. There will be times when you can get by with bare minimum of open slots or inventory slots or some variation, and you can use resources to unlock or buy majority of what you need. So the balance in between the resources from its original setting to Steam has been done well. Resources are fairly easy to acquire, and you don't feel like you're being gypped by, oh, well, I need to get this gold or I need to get that. It just comes into a fact that you will hit difficulty spikes from level 7 to 9, depending on your skill and your gear at that time, but in between those areas, you will hit it and you'll be like, whoa. So as you can see, the map of the game of Basis looks pretty good, and it has these different layers in the world, and you go through portals and you fight different enemies, giant spiders, nagas, scorpions automated with machinery. There are different creatures that you fight, and these different creatures hold different health points. Now, as you can see when you click on it, as I said earlier, the gear that you'll get, the rewards that you'll get, and the fact that it says weak. This has been slightly confusing because creatures that say weak are usually not weak. they'll have, such as this guy, he has 7,000 health, he's level 8, and he's still fairly powerful. He has 2 items and a gun, so 3 items, and they are charged just like yours. When you match a gem, you get a charge for that item color. As you can see in the items, the ones with a red outline are going to require a red match, blues require a blue match, and yellows require a yellow match. The game is a tactical turn-based style game, and you have the availability to take your spells into combat as you see in the bottom below. The more slots of your inventory you unlock in the bottom, the more you'll have the availability to take into combat. Now you also have times to keep a forced fluidity throughout the game. You have about 50 seconds to start to make your decisions. I've never found that to be too short of a time. It's fairly easy to always get and find the time that you need, as well as it gives you a hint and says, hey, if you can't see anything, there's a spot right here. And should there absolutely be no matches on the entire board, it will reset the board, so you don't have to worry about falling into some sort of stuck category. What's different about this match 3 that will make some people dislike it is the fact that it is a turn-based style game. The fact that it is not your standard match 3 game. It is not a simple, I'm going to get combinations and just hit my enemy over and over again or get the high score, whatever variation of rule set. The factor here is that you need to plan ahead. It has the tactical sense, which says, hey, I need to make sure I have my gear correct, so I go into combat and I have a fighting chance. Then it has a strategic sense, which says, okay, I need to look at this as chess. There are skulls, and if I don't line up the skulls to get the hit in first, then he's going to hit me for that damage, so I should always look at skulls. Then I should look at healing and gems as needed. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Green will heal you, purple will give experience, skulls will damage, red, yellow, and blue are available for gems to power up your items. It comes down to a strategic sense. You have to look at it as chess. If you're going to do one move, then he is going to follow up. So if you see a match on the bottom, which is like, oh wow, I could get 3 yellow, but when you do that, it's going to bring down the next row, and the enemy may be able to position 3 skulls and hit you. So you need to be aware and try to not make moves that will put you even more at risk. Now it won't always work because there is the luck factor. The more luck you have, then you'll have the availability to play rounds back to back, and you'll pretty much just get the availability to make more matches in a row before it's the enemy's turn. Is it completely like chess? No, because you have an unknown number of random elements of gems that are going to come down from the top, and these could be anything. So you can try to strategically place and make the best decisions based on what you can see, but because there's a complete factor of not knowing what will drop in, you are never 100% aware or safe. That is in part why people play a match 3, because you don't know what is coming next and you're trying to find the matches. And the real question to answer is the game fair? And yes and no. As I said before, the game has a large difficulty spike because it is a mandatory need to have the tactical gear and spells available and understanding of what they do, as well as understanding that your opponent and the actions you take on the board will either allow him to hit you harder or will allow you to set him up to have to place a row of gems, giving you an advantage. But if you don't plan out what abilities you're going to use, what items you're going to take into battle, if you think that just having max health is going to help you and you don't need any armor or lock or block, and you try to have all your weapons be one color of gem, which then would get split up in between all the weapons and it would take forever for you to charge them all up, there is a tactical sense required. There is a, if I do this, he's going to do that, which will allow me to do this, but then he may counter with that, and then there's a random element will come down and who knows what will happen. The fact that the game can be broken up and you don't have a complete fluidity through the game, where there is a direct failure state on every choice you take, is or can be discouraging for a lot of people. The fact that every time you make a move, you have to question, was that the right move, or I hope that will work out best. Does that mean the game's unfair? No, I have not found the game to be necessarily unfair. I found it to be slightly annoying, as there is that difficulty spike, but in any match 3 game, you're going to require some sort of balance to shape the board your way, and the spells allow that. So using and integrating the spells into your play will give you far more advantage and availability to strike back at the enemy in a positive way for your blood pressure. So at the end of the day, can I recommend it? It has a very corny story, nothing amazing in that regard. It has a fair and balanced and transitioned over currency system. It has a good item system in a tactical sense, which you need to be aware of, though. You need to be aware of what those items do, spells and gear. And you need to have a tactical knowledge of chess mentality, not just oh, I'm going to try to match all the gems on the board, because it is turn-based. You will not, unless you have a high luck stat, you will not have the availability just to play back to back to back to back in turns. So what you do needs to be, to a point, planned out for maximum effect. I don't feel my time has been wasted in the game, but there's certainly a level where if you do not pay attention to what you're doing, you will easily fall into a hole that is very difficult to get out. If you're just playing through the game for the first time and you're like, la 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 la, I'm getting these items, I'm using these weapons, and maybe this looks interesting, or maybe I'll use that, and this kind of looks good, and then you hit that wall. Then you hit that area where if the difficulty spikes up because it's not properly balanced 100% for Steam, then what happens is you find out your gear is more of a disadvantage because you need to be really buckling down on your gear. So the transition from la 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 to, oh wow, this is getting hard, is way too huge of a jump. And because it's so huge of a jump, you can find yourself at that point being very frustrated because you're having to play even more and losing more to try to get gear that will give you a tactical advantage. So if you start out tactically and you build your character correctly from the start, and you're like, okay, I need luck and block and damage passives, and I shouldn't be good in some variation of those 3. Don't worry about health. Then yes, you will be okay. The game is not bad, and it's not a waste of time. If you like match 3s, it does matches 3 as well. It just adds a new twist to it, which is not 100%. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are somebody of a tactical mind who is looking for a challenge and doesn't mind long battles with enemies that will be difficult to defeat at times if you do not utilize everything you possibly can, because enemies will heal, enemies will get turns back to back, and they will be difficult. If you're not somebody who has the availability to strategize, to tactically understand what the situation is, and plan for the future in their gear and abilities, if you're not that type of person, you are not going to enjoy this game, and I recommend that you stay away from it, because this game will just annoy you then. It will turn out in the beginning to be fun, you'll be like, la la la, and then you'll just get crushed, and you'll be just annoyed beyond all belief. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time, and I thank you for watching. For I've been SocioPsycho, and this game has been decent enough, but nothing special, and I'll see you next time.